With this new generation of baseball players, it's almost like we've gotten used to players becoming stars in their early 20s. When a player doesn't make the big league squad until their mid-20s, they can be brushed off pretty easily. However, guys like Mike Yastrzemski and Jake Cronenworth didn't make their major league debuts until their mid to late 20s, and they have both positively contributed to their respective teams. This leads to a guy like Byron Buxton. Buxton's big league career has been chaotic, to say the least. But it seems that we may be finally witnessing a five-tool player blossom at the age of 27. In order to understand Buxton's rocky journey to the big leagues, we have to head back to draft night in 2012. Heading into the 2012 draft, Buxton was one of the most highly touted prospects along with Carlos Correa. These two guys would go number 1 and number 2. Today, Correa is 26 and Buxton is 27. While Correa is one of the best shortstops in the league and is set for a big payday after the 2021 season, Buxton's career trajectory took a different route. Buxton was considered a risky pick from the get-go. Understandable considering he was drafted right out of high school as a toolsy center field project, which is one of the toughest types of players to accurately project. But Buxton produced right away at the age of 18 and was even better at 19. Former player and Twins Rookie League team manager Ramon Borrego, who played with Torrey Hunter in the minor leagues, believed that Buxton was better than Torrey Hunter defensively at just the age of 19. Twins GM at the time, Terry Ryan, believed Buxton played more like Andrew McCutchen. McCutchen would become the NL MVP that same season. But Buxton was humble, always looking to improve while ignoring the hype. By 2014, Buxton was considered the number 1 prospect in the league by some publications, with Keith Law of ESPN even saying that Buxton could be the next 2050 player. However, he suffered quite a few injuries, limiting him to 31 total games in the 2014 season. But this wouldn't deter the hype. In fact, after a successful 59-game stint in AA, Buxton was called up to the big league squad in mid-June 2015 at the age of 21. Fun fact, Buxton and Francisco Lindor both made their major league debuts on the same day. However, Buxton only played in 46 games due to a sprained thumb only 11 games into his big league stint, leading him to spend much of the summer in AAA. Yes, this stat line isn't very appealing. So here's some great defensive plays from Buxton's rookie season. Pretty good, right? But seriously, expecting a 21-year-old to hit near league average is a tall order. Although he earned a spot on the 2016 opening day roster, only to have an OPS of 497 by April 24th, leading to a demotion to AAA. Here's another defensive highlight. By the way, every time we see some bad numbers, I'll throw in a defensive highlight. Well, after a month in AAA, Buxton and the coaches believed he got his swing back. Buxton mentioned one method he used was imagining a hard-hit ball to second base in order to stay consistent with his swing. He was called back up in late May, but was eventually sent back down in early August. He would be called back up in September and ended the year with these numbers, notably sporting a strikeout rate of 35.6%, the second highest of any player with at least 300 plate appearances in 2016. The highest? Buxton's teammate, Miguel Sano.
Drill to center, Buxton back, turning around one way or the other. Oh, what a catch!
On a more positive note, Buxton's sprint speed in 2016 was the highest among all major leaguers. This speed led to an interesting month of August in 2017. On the first pitch of this game, Buxton hit an inside-the-park home run, rounding the bases in 13.85 seconds. The fastest inside-the-park home run ever recorded by StatCast. Speaking of home runs, Buxton hit a lot of them in that month of August, hitting 8 home runs and stealing 8 bases. He ended the season with okay hitting stats, but his WAR numbers were fairly good for a guy that was hitting below league average. Why were his WAR numbers this high?
Leaping and making a catch! And leaping and making a great catch! At the wall. Leaping, and he made the catch!
Buxton won 3 awards for his defense in 2017, as he was recognized as the best defender in the American League. So at age 23, Buxton had slightly improved as a hitter, but had shown to be arguably the best fielder in the league. So what's the problem? Well, injuries. Less than 2 weeks into the 2018 season, Buxton was sidelined due to migraines. And during his rehab stint, he fractured his big toe on his left foot. He came back in May, but was back on the IL at the end of the month with a sprained left wrist after crashing into the outfield wall. He was optioned back to AAA in early July, and while he could have been promoted in September, the Twins opted not to do so. While GM Thad Levine said this was due to underwhelming results and rehab in AAA, his underlying messages showed this was also a way to manipulate Buxton's service time so he becomes a free agent after the 2022 season instead of after the 2021 season. Well, Buxton's short stint with the big league squad left much to be desired. I mean, he had an OPS plus of 5. We're going to need a really good defensive play to forget about that.
Buxton chasing it, leaping. Oh, Byron Buxton, did he catch it? Oh, what a catch.
In 2019, Buxton actually played a good portion of the first half of the season, producing some of his best offensive numbers ever. Was this the Buxton we were all promised?
In a right center field, long run for Buxton, and he can't get there.
He absolutely crushed this, and almost a great play by Buxton, the center fielder.
He played the rest of the game, but he only played a few more games in the 2019 season. Alright, well, let's go to 2020. He played more than 60 games in 2019, so he should make it through this season. Well, after a few weeks of games, Buxton had shoulder inflammation in his surgically repaired shoulder, which is not great. However, he was back a couple of weeks later and ended the season with the best stat line of his career. Despite the numerous setbacks, Buxton has made steady improvements throughout his career. Yes, in 2020, the strikeout rate and walkout rate took a dive, but other notable StatCast statistics show significant improvement. Oh wait, I forgot about this season. Okay, yes, he hasn't even played a month's worth of games. But come on, look at these numbers. Now look at these percentile rankings. These are elite numbers. And of course, as of writing this script, Buxton was benched with a sore knee, so hopefully this isn't a precursor to further injuries. I mean, he did crack a tooth when eating steak back in spring training, and he recently missed a week's worth of games due to a hamstring strain. But what matters is that Buxton has maintained steady progress throughout his career, and it looks like it's due to his approach at the plate, which is odd since Buxton still strikes out at a high rate and walks at a low rate. Anyway, look at some of these percentages. The zone swing and meatball swing percentages show an increased ability to recognize certain pitches. However, his zone contact percentage has stayed relatively the same over the years. Interestingly, in 2020, Buxton's approach changed as he was more swing happy than ever, which was reflected in the strikeout and walk rates. But so far in 2021, it seems that he has dialed back his approach while maintaining the ability to recognize pitches. Of course, I can't forget to mention exit velocity and launch angle. Interestingly, Buxton has always had an optimal launch angle, and his exit velocity has steadily improved. However, it also seems that Buxton has taken his old advice of hitting the ball towards the second baseman, as he is hitting more ground balls and keeping the ball in the middle of the diamond. However, it's still important to note that Buxton's whiff, chase, and walk rates are still among the worst in the league. So once teams start shifting towards Buxton's preferences and pitchers figure out his new approach, his numbers will fall back down to earth. But what does a down-to-earth Buxton look like? Is it a 2017 Buxton or a 2019-2020 Buxton? I'm inclined to choose the latter, but with the combination of the small sample sizes as the result of multiple injuries and the shortened 2020 season, it's near impossible to predict what Buxton can do if he stays healthy for around 150 games. I like to think he can be a 30-30 player with outstanding defense, but who knows? What I think these offensive numbers show is that despite all of the chaos, all of the setbacks Buxton has had to overcome throughout his career, he has continued to improve his game. If he stayed healthy for most of his career, we'd be talking about a proven 7-year vet. If Buxton never had to endure this many injuries, we'd likely be talking about him in the same vein as Carlos Correa and Francisco Lindor, two guys who had the same hype as Buxton, but were actually able to get all of the reps at the big league level. Byron Buxton's career has been hectic, but on the field, he's one of the most exciting players to watch play, and it's easy to forget that. I just hope that he stays healthy long enough so that fans can appreciate Buxton's unique set of talents. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, and subscribe for more content just like this. Thanks for watching.